Why should you be more assertive? Do you know anyone who's assertive? You know, that person who always stands up for himself but never makes a stink. He can effectively protect his best interests without causing any harm to others. He doesn't step on the needs of someone else when he's catering to his own needs. That's what being assertive is all about. You're looking out for number one. Instead of blindly fulfilling your needs, you make sure that no one gets their toes stepped on. If you just shout your needs to the world and pursue fulfilling them, not caring what harm you may cause to others, that's not being assertive. That's being aggressive and acting like a bully. You can see the obvious problems with that approach to getting what you want. Comparing that aggressive nature to assertiveness might have you thinking, should I be more assertive? I'm usually passive and easygoing, so are there any benefits to developing a more assertive personality? Those are good questions. Let's dig a little deeper to see why it makes sense for you and the other people in your life to be more assertive. Everyone benefits. If you're considering developing assertiveness, it might mean that you've felt underserved in the past. Maybe you haven't been very good about communicating your needs. It could be that you're worried others will think you're selfish or self-involved if you try to take care of your needs rather than theirs. Most of the time, that kind of belief system is only in the mind of you as a passive person. If other people that care about you were to give their opinions, they would probably be happy to see you assert yourself more. That's because everyone benefits when people are assertive as opposed to aggressive or passive. Passive people get run over. Their loved ones, coworkers, and acquaintances can end up taking advantage of them without realizing that's what they're doing. The passive person continues to offer assistance and says yes when asked for favors. Eventually, this can lead to resentment. The person who is not assertive enough resents the people who are always having their needs addressed before his. His friends and loved ones begin to resent him when he finally does speak his mind. They feel like they've done nothing wrong, since he was always seemingly cheerful and happy to help them out. When you are calm and assertive, you stand up for yourself. You speak your mind. You don't raise a fuss and scream and yell. Assertiveness makes it more about yourself rather than anyone else. Make statements where you are the subject. As soon as you start pointing fingers and laying blame, you're beginning to get aggressive and not assertive. Assertiveness also means recognizing the needs and feelings of others. You make sure that you clearly express what's on your mind, but you don't do it at the expense of anyone else. This type of communication is respected by people you deal with. They're happy to listen to what you have to say because they don't pay any kind of price for you standing up for yourself. As far as the benefits of being more assertive, they begin with self-respect. You start to respect yourself more. You also develop confidence in every aspect of your life. Being assertive can help you land a promotion, improve a relationship, and it ensures no one ever takes advantage of you in a financial transaction. And it's a great example for younger people. The only person you can count on to look after your best interests is you. You can't do that if you're not assertive and you don't stand up for yourself. Everybody wins when you adopt an assertive but non-combative communication style. Start being more assertive today, and you can find your life more fulfilling and rewarding. Why assertiveness is the healthiest type of communication. You can communicate physically without saying a word. Your body language says a lot even though you might not speak at all. You can convey your emotions with nothing more than your eyes. Sometimes physical communication comes down to contact. A hug or a kiss says a lot even though no words are spoken. You might communicate by writing a letter and sending it via snail mail. These days, communication involves texting and sending emails. In all of the above examples, there are opportunities for your message to come across the wrong way. That's one of the beauties of verbal communication. If you think before you speak, keep your emotions in check and choose your words carefully, you can say exactly what's on your mind. As verbal communication goes, there are 4 major types. 1. Passive. 2. Aggressive. 3. Passive-aggressive. 4. Assertive. 1. Passive. This person places their needs behind those of everyone else. He seldom stands up for himself or speaks his mind. The passive individual often will not defend himself when attacked and is constantly run over. He says yes when he knows he should say no, and will act in ways that are detrimental to his own well-being to be of service to others. 2. Aggressive. Aggression is often marked by volume. This person speaks louder than everyone else and is happy to drown other people out rather than letting them speak. The aggressive individual will employ bullying tactics to get what he wants. He is in no way concerned about the feelings or needs of others. Aggressive people make others submit to their will, and they're very pushy and demanding. 3. Passive-aggressive. These people appear to be passive. They're meek and calm on the outside, but sneakily aggressive. They'll cut you down and undermine you without it appearing that's what they're doing. This can be a more dangerous person than the aggressive individual because it's sometimes hard to detect what's going on. They're very good at giving a surface appearance that says everything's fine when that definitely isn't the case. 4. Assertive. This person knows how to express their needs. They'll never do it at the expense of someone else unless they're dealing with a passive-aggressive or aggressive individual. He quietly, calmly, and confidently states his case and says what's on his mind. He doesn't need to shout or bully people to produce a good result. Which person would you rather deal with? It's obvious. Assertive people don't step on toes. They don't offend others and make sure they respect the opinions and needs of other people. This makes the healthiest style of communication, and one most likely to create the outcome you're looking for. The next time you communicate verbally, critique yourself. Ask how you came across. Then when you offer your opinion, make sure to state it clearly and calmly. Don't try to create a beneficial situation for you if it comes at the expense of someone else. You'll be respected as an assertive person, and that means a greater chance at getting your needs met. 3 simple hacks for being a more assertive communicator. Be a little more like Goldilocks if you're trying to stand up for yourself and get your voice heard. If you recall in the fable, Goldilocks was out walking in the forest one day. She happened upon a cottage and wondered if anyone was home, so she knocked on the door and waited. After receiving no reply, Goldilocks became a lawbreaker. She simply opened the door and went right in. When we said being a little more like Goldilocks could help you be more assertive, we certainly weren't advocating breaking and entering. In the kitchen, she found 3 large bowls of porridge. One was too hot, one was too cold, and the third she tried was just right. After eating food that wasn't hers in a home that wasn't hers, she retreated to a living room that wasn't hers. She ran through the same process with chairs until she found one that was, you guessed it, just right. All this criminal mischief made Goldilocks a tired little girl. So she went upstairs looking for a bed. She found one that was too hard, one that was too soft, and finally, one that was just right. She fell asleep. As it turns out, this was the home of 3 bears. When Mama, Daddy, and Baby Bear got home, they noticed someone had eaten their porridge, sat in their chairs, and upon investigating the upstairs, was still asleep in the baby bear's bed. The bears startled Goldilocks awake, and she ran off frightened into the forest. Evidently, she felt the time was just right for getting the heck out of Dodge. 3. Just right keys for assertive communication. Assertiveness can come off as aggressiveness if you're not careful. You might also err in the opposite direction, not being assertive enough. Here are 3 keys for getting assertiveness just right. Goldilocks would be proud. So you get your voice heard, address your needs, and hopefully achieve the outcome you desire. 1. Think before you talk. Give yourself time to relax and think objectively, without emotion. You may want to step away from the situation for a day so you have time to think about it. Ask yourself what your goals are. What happened that made you feel put off in some way? How can you talk with someone you believe has offended you without making them upset? You want to be honest as well as respectful. 2. Practice and monitor your body language. Folding your arms across your chest is defensive. It tells the other person you're unconcerned about their opinion or what they say. Practice standing or sitting with a balanced and open body. Maintain eye contact with your audience. Your feet should be slightly apart, shoulder width, with your arms at your sides. If the person you're talking to is sitting, you sit down as well. Stand if they're standing. You level the communication playing field and don't give them or yourself an upper hand. This shows that while you have an opinion to express, you are open to their input. Practice speaking confidently and at a medium tone or pitch. Practice what you want to say beforehand. These tips can help you present a confident but open attitude. 3. Use scripts when communicating. I feel, I'm concerned because, I want to understand. I was hurt by. Those are excellent ways to communicate what's on your mind. You talk about what you feel and your viewpoints instead of pointing the finger at someone else and accusing them, which can make them instantly defensive. Create your own scripts and practice them before you give your presentation. These tips are all about planning. You take time to thoroughly address the situation in your mind. You practice giving a confident but open appearance and posture. Then you communicate your feelings in a non-threatening way. After these 3 steps, follow up with what you want the outcome to be. This is what you feel needs to happen after a situation caused you to feel slighted or harmed. It's a simple but powerful 3-step process that can help you get assertiveness just right. The 4-step assertiveness formula for any situation. You might know that your life could benefit by being more assertive. but you bite your tongue instead. A lot of people feel like they should stand up for themselves more frequently. They have needs, desires, and concerns which aren't being met. They want to say something, but for a lot of reasons, they don't. In many cases, this is because they're concerned about the feelings of others. These people are kind souls. They don't want to appear selfish or self-absorbed by talking about what they need or how they feel they've been harmed. Their concern is that the more important people in their lives will feel that they aren't being selfless enough and are instead selfishly addressing their own needs. Sometimes the individual is introverted or passive in nature. It's just not natural for them to speak up, even if they could benefit in some way. If you feel like you need to be more assertive, use the following 4-step process proven to work in any situation. 1. Explain the situation as you see it. 2. Discuss your feelings. 3. Explain what made you feel that way. 4. Talk about what you want to happen now. 1. What is the situation on your mind? Did someone do or say something that caused you harm in some way? Maybe someone took advantage of you. Perhaps there's a reality you would like to change. You want a promotion, you desire a healthier relationship, you're tired of always doing other people favors, etc. Be very specific. If something was said, provide an exact quote if possible. The better description you give of the situation that's bothering you, the better chance you have at keeping it from happening in the future. 2. What were the emotions that were triggered by this situation? This is very important, possibly the most vital step in this formula. Form a sentence or two that talks about your feelings. It's crucial that you start your sentences with, I feel, instead of you, and there's a very good reason for this. As soon as you start a sentence by saying you said or you did, the other person will become defensive. Make it about your feelings and you're going to have a more interested and concerned audience. Refer to one or more of the following 6 basic feelings. You can feel sad, angry, hurt, scared, happy, or ashamed. Everyone understands what you're talking about when you use those words. Start off with the feeling that's most important to you. 3. Explain why you experienced those emotions. Again, be very clear. If someone did something you consider rude, that would effectively explain why you might have feelings of anger or sadness. You explain how a person's actions or something they said caused you to feel a particular way. 4. Make a request. At this point, you've clearly outlined why you felt the way you did and how someone else's behavior caused you to feel a certain way. You're quietly but confidently standing up for yourself and expressing your opinion. Now tell your audience what you want to happen. Do you want an apology? Maybe you'd prefer a promise that this won't happen in the future, or you just need a hug. Assertiveness is about speaking your mind. It's also about making sure your needs are met. This is the stage in the process where you express what you need to happen after you've discussed your feelings. It's easier to be assertive if you just go through the steps of this process. Don't overthink it. Don't let your emotions get involved and get you so flustered you don't know what to say. Simply move through these 4 steps and you'll find it easier to be assertive. Some simple affirmations to help you be more assertive. Becoming more assertive has so many rewards. This is especially true if you're not usually the type of person who speaks up. You'll find you have healthier self-image. You can gain a lot of self-respect when you stand up for yourself and address your needs. This is a wonderful stress-busting tool as well. Your confidence grows. There's a realization that you have strengths which you may not have noticed before. Being assertive in any situation makes you more confident that you can deal with other issues in other areas of your life. Develop assertiveness and you'll notice others start giving you more respect and admiration. There are lots of benefits for being assertive when you should be standing up for your rights. You probably know that. When you've done it in the past, it felt really good. You address your needs and speak your mind without causing harm to others. Even if you know you should be more assertive, it might be tough. Here are a few simple but powerful affirmations that can help you become a more assertive communicator. I am assertive. I'm assertive when I need to be. It's okay for me to address my needs instead of always serving others. I stand up for my beliefs and speak my mind while respecting the rights of others. I'm confident when speaking with other people. I set healthy boundaries and defend them, knowing that they're beneficial to myself and others. I deserve to have my voice heard. My needs are just as important as those of others. If you have some unique situation you want to address, incorporate that into your affirmation. Customize these positive first-person statements to make them more relevant for you. Always remember to speak affirmations in the present tense and never speak negatively of other people. Self-talk is very powerful. What you tell your subconscious over and over is what it begins to believe, whether it's reality or something that isn't happening right now. You can program your mind for a more assertive style of communication so you're ready when you need to speak up for yourself. By the way, this works if you've struggled to be assertive in the past. It can help anyone speak up when they need to protect their best interests. Speak these affirmations throughout the day whenever you feel you need to be more assertive.